All right, guys, up. All right, show me sitting not nicely. Show me sitting not nicely. I'm playing with my shoes and then picking my nose. Now show me sitting nicely. Oh, that's very good. That's very good. What's our theme this month? There's 2 parts. You can tell me one part of our theme. You can tell me one part of our theme. Okay. And what's the other part of our theme? Takto. Very good. Now, this morning we talked about what is different on Earth and in space. What are the different things between being on Earth and in space? We talked about a couple. What is something that space does not have? What is something that space does not have? On Earth we have it, but in space we do not have. It's a little challenge. Only 2 kids remember. What's something space does not have? You die. Gravity! Yeah. So in space, what do? Do you fall down or do you float? Raise your hand if you know the answer. Do you fall down or do you float? Takeru.
Float.
That's right. What else is something space does not have? Space does not have, it's something very important. If you don't have it, you cannot be alive. You say?
Air.
Air. Do we need air?
Yes. Yes.
What do we do with air? Takeru, what do we do with air, guys? So, we breathe air. If there's no air, what happens?
We can breathe.
You can't breathe. That's not good, right?
Yeah.
Now, what is something else in space? Like Earth is pretty nice. Hot days. On hot days, is it so hot that you can bake a pie on the sidewalk, or no?
No.
And on cold days, is it so cold that everything is frozen?
No.
No. But in space, if you're in the sun, is it really hot?
Yes.
Like really, really hot?
Yes.
And when you're in the shade, is it cold?
Yeah.
Like really, really cold?
Yeah.
Like really, really hot and really, really cold, right?
Yeah.
So if you are going to go outside in space, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need if you want to go into space? Takeji.
Space helmet.
Not just a space helmet, what do we call the whole thing? What do we call the whole thing, Takeru?
Spacesuit.
We need a spacesuit. Got some nice big boots,
Tight pants.
some nice big pants.
And diaper pants.
We got some nice big diaper pants, because we cannot take the suit off to go to the bathroom. Also, what does this have? This is,
Sunglasses.
because the sun is very bright in space, right? So what does a spacesuit have? It has, what does it have? Spacesuit gives us
Air.
air. A spacesuit also has like a air gun.
Air conditioner.
So it keeps us cool when it's hot and warm when it's cold, right? And also, what does the backpack do?
Spray.
Shoots air. That helps us move because in space, is there gravity?
No.
No. And we need our spacesuit to be nice and tight, right?
Yeah.
Or else we're going to lose all of our air and lose all of our air conditioning, and that's not good, right?
Yeah.
So if you were going to go out floating around in space, would you go out in space like this or like this?
Right.
The one on the left or the one on the right?
Right.
Okay. We'll do one more time. You guys are going to get to dress up to go to space, okay?
It's a fun game.
You like this one?
Yeah.
Good. Alright.
I was left.
Alright, and let's see what's going on our feet. And guys, hup. So, and you die. Alright, let's start with our feet. Who wants to help? On the left or on the right? So,
On the left.
on the left.
Yeah, I suck too.
How about for our pants? Do you want on the left or on the right, Takeru?
On the left.
On the left. How about for our upper body? Do you want on the right or on the left, Kai?
On the left.
On the left. Wow, you guys are going all in. All right. How about up top? Do you want on the left or on the right? You say.
On the right.
On the right. All right. So we're going to start at the bottom. On our feet, we will have some nice, big, heavy boots. That's right. That's good for jumping on the moon. It's good for keeping it in your air. On our legs, we're going to have. All right. We're going to have some nice.
This is the most important part.
Why is this the most important part, Takechi?
Because we we don't need to go to toilet.
Yeah, if you're out doing a spacewalk, can you go up and run back to the space shuttle, go back inside the space shuttle, use the toilet, put your spacesuit back on, and go back outside? Or does that take too much time?
Too much time.
Too much time. And up top, oh, very nice. We have our space helmet that has our nice sunglasses, and it has water, and it keeps in the air. And then on our upper body, we'll just wear a t-shirt. Thank you, G. How's that look? Look pretty good?
No!
What's wrong? You can tell me, well, I want you to think about it and tell me what's wrong with this. What's wrong? So, why can't we breathe? You're right, so, but why can't we breathe? What's going to happen? Thank you, G. Sit nicely, Kai.
There's no air.
Oh, the air's just going to go out of our suit. We'll have no air conditioning. We have no way to move. We'll just be floating off into space because we don't have our jetpack.
And we're gonna fall down to the ground.
Are we going to fall down to the ground?
No.
Why? Because there's no gravity. So we also talked this morning about, does every human lives on Earth? Is that right?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Think about the question. Every human lives on Earth. Do you think yes or no?
No.
If you think no, where do some people live? Where do some people live? If we don't all live on Earth, where do some people live? You die. Some people live on
Some people live on space station.
Very good. Do you guys remember the space station?
Yes.
What is the space station? It's like a, raise your hand if you know. What is it like? It's like a,
House.
it's like a house. Where? It's like a house in, Takeru. House in, where is it? Where is it? It's a house in, Takeji.
Space.
It's like a house in space. Right?
Like a floating house.
Like a floating house in space. But do you guys remember, this is a challenge. Do you remember, does it stay in one spot or does it go around?
Go around.
It goes around. Do you remember what we call something that goes around? Yudai? It, you say?
Orbit.
Orbit. It orbits around the Earth. So if you look out your window on the space station, what do you see?
Orbit.
Think about the question. Listen to the question. If you look out your window from the space station, what do you see? You say?
Earth.
You can see Earth. Is that a pretty good view?
Yes.
Can you guys see Earth?
Yes.
Can you guys see Earth from the window?
No.
Yeah, if you just look down. You
No.
see, look, what's this?
Mars.
This is part of Earth, right? So from the space station, you can see all of Earth. It's beautiful, right? So, do you guys want to be astronauts?
Yes.
Do you want to try to live on the space station?
Yes. Yeah. No, I don't want to. Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay. Now, being quiet, raising our hand, we have something to say. Do you want to pretend to be astronauts?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to pretend to be astronauts. We have to think, if we're going to be astronauts, what is our life going to be like? What is our life going to be like? What's going to be different on the space station? Think about your life now. You wake up in the morning, maybe you go brush your teeth, eat your breakfast, take a train to school, we study, we sit in our chairs and study, we go home, take a bath, maybe brush our teeth again, go to sleep. What would be different if we lived on the space station?
We cannot go to the school.
We can't go to school, that's right. But let's think about something that's even more different. Does the space station have air? The
Yes.
space station doesn't have air.
That's how the air.
It has air. But what doesn't it have? You and I, it doesn't have. It doesn't have a bath and it doesn't have a normal toilet, but let's think about why. There's one more really important thing that it doesn't have that we do have on Earth. Watch, this will help. This will help. I want a DD1 to answer. What doesn't, raising your hand, what doesn't the space station have? Takto.
Gravity.
No gravity. So everyday things we do every day are going to be a little bit different on the space station. Do you want to see some?
Yes. And squish me.
Okay. Here, we'll look at some videos of how things are different on Earth and the space station. How about, so do you have that speaker? Is it over there? Or
Yeah.
where is it?
Where is it?
I found it.
Ah,
Look.
over here.
All right.
Here we go.
It's a good thing we have gravity, otherwise that would have just kept going straight off into the ceiling, right? Let's think about some things we do every day, like, what about brushing your teeth? Do you brush your teeth every day?
Yes. Yes.
What about washing your hands? Do you wash your hands every day?
Yes.
How about washing your hair? Do you wash your hair every day?
No. Yes. Yes.
Well, almost every day.
What the? Yeah. My mommy is only Tuesday, Wednesday.
So not every day, but almost every day. First, do you want to see how do you wash your hands in space? What do you think? Here on Earth, how do we wash our hands? What's the first thing we do when we wash our hands here on Earth? So, we don't go in the shower to wash our hands. When we wash our hands like before lunch, what do? What's the first thing we do?
Turn it on the thing.
We turn on the water in the sink. What do we do next?
And
Wait, this is just washing your hands. This should be very easy for everyone. What do we do next? Bekji.
and we need to pump the soap.
We pump the soap into our hands. What do we do next? Yudai.
Rub your hands.
We rub our hands, and then what do we do? Kai.
And
Then we,
we rub.
after rubbing, what do we do? We, Takeru?
Wash.
We
Rub. Rinse.
We rinse. We use water to get rid of all the soap. Can we do that on the space station, do you think?
No.
Why not? Why can't we do that on the space station? Kai.
Because it's everything floats.
Everything's going to float away. So if we turn on the water, is this going to go and down the drain?
No.
What's going to happen with the water? Wait. Who can tell me what's going to happen with the water if we just turn on water in the space station?
Float.
What? The water. I need a sentence, not just float. So you can tell me the water will float. It's just going to float everywhere. Is that what we want?
No.
So what do you think? What do we do if you're on the space station? Think for just a minute. How do you wash your hands? Who has an idea? How do we wash our hands? You got it.
Soap and water is sticking.
Together.
Yeah.
So you think the soap and water sticks together?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good idea. Any other ideas?
Yes.
Daichi?
When we turn on the water, catch the water, it's floating.
You need to catch, when you turn on the water, you have to catch all the water that's floating away. It's not a bad idea. Okay.
Water flush out and hold it here is down and go over the spaceship and go splash.
So you think all the water's going to go shh and then splash at the bottom?
Yes.
Okay, now, but I have a question. Do you think we use a lot of water or a little water?
Little water.
Do you want to see an astronaut on the space station wash his hands?
Yes.
Alright. Now let's listen carefully and pay attention. Oh wait, this is, sorry. We're going to switch. That was wash your hair. We won't wash your hands, right? Alright, here we go. How do you wash your hands in space?
Tuck our towel somewhere to let it air dry.
Is that pretty cool?
Yes.
So, is it the same as how we wash our hands?
No.
Do you use a lot of water or a little water?
Little water.
A little bit of water. And did he, yes, go get a tissue please. Did he use water and soap? Or they were already mixed?
Already mixed.
And did he at the end use water to rinse or he didn't rinse? A little different than from when you and I wash our hands, right? How about washing our hair? Do you wash your hair sometimes?
Yes.
How do you wash your hair? On Earth, how do we wash our hair? With gravity. What do we do? Takeru. Use words, don't just use gestures, okay?
With hand.
So you just go, this is I'm washing my hair right now. Start the first step. What do we do first when we wash our hair, guys? You say.
With the soap.
I think even before we start pumping soap or shampoo, we gotta do something else first, guys. Hup. We need to get in the shower because our hair needs to be
Water.
We get our hair wet first, right? Then we pump our shampoo. Then we takeru. We do what? We rub the shampoo in our hair. And finally, what's the last thing we do? We...
Wash.
Well, this is washing. The last thing we do is we take water and we...
Rub.
Rub?
Rinse.
Rinse. We rinse all the soapy water out, right? Does that use a lot of water or just a little water?
Little water.
Really? The shower goes shh. Does that use a lot?
Water.
Do you think they do that in space? At the space station? How do you wash your hair in space, do you think? Who has a guess? Who has a guess?
Same like that.
Same like this? So you think you use a lot of water or a little water?
Little water.
And do you rinse or don't rinse?
Don't rinse.
Do you want to watch a video?
Oh wait, I got the idea.
You have an idea?
Maybe we need to shoot the water with something
So you shoot the water where?
on the hair.
Into our hair? Let's find out. We're going to meet a different astronaut too. Why is her hair sticking up like this?
Because it's gravity.
No gravity, good.
Asked me how I wash my hair in space.
Yes. So now that was pretty fun, right?
Yeah.
I have a question. When the astronauts on the space station wash their hands, do they use a lot of water or not much water?
Water.
Can you spread out a little bit? We're sitting nicely again. And when the astronauts on the space station wash their hair, do they use a little water or a lot of water?
Little.
Think about the question. Don't just answer. Do they use a lot of water or a little water?
Little water.
A little water. Why? Is water heavy or light?
Light.
Really? If you just fill up a big bag of water, is it heavy or light?
Heavy.
Water's pretty heavy. And where do you get your water from on the space station?
Japan.
Not just Japan. Thank you, Dakichi. From Earth. And if we want to take water from Earth to the space station, how does it get there? I want everyone sit nicely and think about that question. How do we get water from Earth to the space station? Doctor. What do we need to do? Does someone just take a water balloon and throw it up into the sky? Think about it. How do we get water from Earth to the space station? If you have a guess, raise your hand. Don't pull on the mat, please. You do that, okay? I saw you doing it. Who has a good guess? How do we get water from Earth to the space station? Dakichi.
The astronauts buy first from the shop. No.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea. You done?
Japan, Earth people will put inside food in a rocket.
They put things in a rocket and send it up to the space station, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you think sending things with a rocket is easy or difficult?
Difficult.
Because we talk, for a rocket, if a rocket wants to go from Earth out into space, is it easy or needs a lot of gas?
Yeah.
And a lot of gas also means a lot of money too, right? It's very expensive. So, can you just send anything you want up to the space station or not really?
Not really.
Do you guys want to, okay, we are astronauts on the space station
Already?
right now.
Wow.
I want us to imagine we're astronauts on the space station. We can get some things sent up to us. Now, I want you to be careful with what you choose. I want you to really think about if it's important or not important. Because everything we choose, like, I want a scooter. And I also want a sofa. And I also want, I want a coloring book. Ooh, and I'm gonna need crayons and erasers. Ooh. I also think it would be nice to have some Legos and some blocks. And I also want some chocolate. We're full. That's all we can bring, right?
Yeah.
Once it hits the bottom, we're full. Sit on your bottoms, please, DD2s. So everyone gets to think of one thing they think is important that we should have sent to us. Because remember, we can't just go to the convenience or the supermarket, right?
Yeah.
So let's be careful, think very carefully. What's an important thing to send with us? Everyone gets to choose one. So let's think about some very important things that we want sent up to us. Dakichi.
Protein pill.
We need some, well, let's not think about that. Let's think about some real things that we want.
Is there a shooting in the space station, or we need to bring one?
I don't know. I think if we don't have one, we might need one, right? So is that your choice?
Yes.
So I want a.
I want space.
That's a very good one, because if there's a problem, we need to fix the outside of the space station, and we need to go outside, we need a spacesuit, right? So you chose spacesuits. Who has something else they would think that we should bring with us? Okay. Think before you make sure you're thinking of something that you want from Earth while we're on the space station. Takeru?
Where's the paper?
You want some papers? Okay, we only want some papers. Daikichi?
Maybe.
So we got spacesuits, papers, telescopes. Okay, that's good. We can
see some planets.
we can see some faraway planets with a good telescope. That's a good idea. What else do we need? Okay. Think. What else do we need, guys? I want everyone to give me one good answer. What's something that we should have on the space station? Don't do that, Daikichi. Takeru? Don't copy Daikichi when I say don't do that, okay? So we have paper so we can write things down. We have a spacesuit in case we run into trouble. A telescope to see faraway planets. Okay?
A bed.
A bed.
Pencil.
It's okay. Takto, what else do you think we need?
Pencil.
Pencils to write on the paper with. Still need some answers from over here. So Yudai haven't told me yet. A brush for our hair. This is our last one. Yudai. A lot of food. All right. So you say, what did you have us bring? We brought spacesuits. Good. All right, we got our spacesuits just in case we need to do something. Kai, what did you have us bring? Beds, so we can go to sleep. Now, I have a question. It's too late, but I have a question. In space, with no gravity, do you lay down on a bed?
No.
When you sleep, you kind of just float. So maybe we didn't need to bring the beds, but that was a good idea. What do you think? Takto, what did you have us bring? Pencils, so we can write down the things that we find, our scientific discoveries. Takeru, what did you have us bring? Paper, so we can write down what we discovered. What did you have us bring, Dakichi?
I bring a telescope.
I
I
brought.
brought a telescope.
Very good, so we can see faraway planets. What did you think to bring?
I brought a lot of food.
Food. And what did you bring, son?
I brought
Hairbrush. So now let's think. What of everything we thought to bring to the space station, what is the most important thing we brought with? We have spacesuit, bed, pencils, paper, telescope, food, hairbrush. What's the most important thing we decided to bring? Everyone think, what's for us to be alive? What's the most important thing we need in space?
air.
No, that's already up there. What's the most important thing? Only Daikichi can think about this one. Guys, I want you to think. This is very important. What's the thing we really need? Kai. No, it's from the things we just talked about sending up to the space station. What's the thing we really need? DD1s, I hope you're thinking about this. Do we really need the bed? What's the thing we really need? Or we'll be in serious trouble. All the old DD2s have their hands up. None of the DD1s think. Remember, again, Our options are spacesuits, bed, pencil, paper, telescope, food, or hairbrush. What's the most important thing? Kai. If we want to live on the space station, what's the most important thing? Takeru.
Food.
Definitely food. If we don't have food, we're in big trouble, right? So Yudai, very good choice. Now, there's something else you guys forgot to bring, and if we run out of this, we won't be eating, we won't be washing our hands, we won't be washing our hair, we won't... No, more important than forks. You don't use a fork to wash your hands, do you? Do you use a fork to wash your hair?
Like this.
What did we forget to bring, Kai? No, it's something, it's going to go in, we're going to mix it into our food, we're going to drink it next to our food, we're going to use it to wash our hands, we're going to use it to wash our hair. It's a super important thing that you guys totally forgot to bring. More important than food.
We can put
Daikji?
water.
Water.
We can put
We can't just go get water in the middle of space, can we? You guys forgot to bring water, so you're lucky. We have one left. What should this last one be?
water.
Okay.
We can go down.
But now we're full. So this is our delivery from Earth. I don't think we really needed a bed or a hairbrush. But at least we got our food and our spacesuits and our telescopes, right?
We need a lot of space.
Well, we've got the spacesuits. He got the spacesuits covered. So, we have our delivery from Earth. I'm impressed. Nobody said games. Nobody said candy. Nobody said iPads. It was good. You guys were really thinking like astronauts. You were thinking of important stuff. Give yourself a pat on the back. And say, nice job, me. Say, nice thinking, me. I really thought about that one. Now, it's true. Astronauts who live on the space station get everything they need delivered from Earth. How does it get delivered, do you think? Again, think about it. How does it get delivered, do you think? How does it come up to space? How does it get delivered? By a rocket. Do you want to see?
Yeah.
Maybe it does. Everybody, knees up.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up, is me. Don't square everyone. It's silly here. It's silly and funny.
All right.
I think.
Now let's watch. This is how food makes it up to space. That's
Lunch is over. Delicious.
the end of lunch. So, in space, does the food look like it's the most delicious food?
No.
Maybe not, but you know that food needs to come all the way from Earth. So when we are thinking of food that we can get sent up to us on the space station, we need to think of food that isn't too messy, not too many crumbs, something that maybe, if it's very light in a lot of space, like a cake, is that a good idea?
No.
No, but something that's maybe very small, like a candy bar, is that okay?
Yes.
Sure. So we want to think about things that maybe are healthy, things that are not too messy, and things that are not too light. We want things that are kind of heavy and dense, not light and fluffy, okay? Now what we're going to do is you guys are going to go into 2 astronaut teams and we're going to choose 2 different menus for 2 different meals, okay? We want to think about those things. We want to think about, is it too messy? Is it too light? Is it healthy? Okay?
Okay.
So I want Yudai to go over here. So over here. Dakichi over here. Takeru over there. Yusei over here. Takuto over here. Kai over here. This is going to be a little test for our spelling. And also, it's going to be a little test for our, well, not a test, but we're going to choose 2 different menus, okay? At the very top, we're going to choose an entree. Do you know what an entree is?
No. Teamwork.
It's like, this is teamwork. We're taking turns. Yes, turn it up like this, like a piece of paper. An entree is the first thing, like an appetizer. Maybe, salad, some French fries, some soup, something we can have first, okay? Now talk to each other. You are a team. Talk to each other. Choose something and write it down. Also try your best to write the words. Please talk, okay? Go. What would be a good first course? First course for the meal, an appetizer, something on the side.
Something we need.
Talk to each other. Talk to each other. A food.
Wait, a food.
We're making a menu for our food, for our dinner, our space station dinner. What's a good entree? Think not the main, something on the side. And we want it to be something not too messy, not too fluffy, and healthy. Go. Talk. Don't whisper. And it's not a competition. Talk in. Come in. Talk. Wait, no. Did you guys? What are you talking about? What did you decide? Water is so when you have a meal, the first thing you want to eat is some water. Oh, this is the side, the thing on the side. G U R R T. Good. All right. So everybody finished writing out their menu.
Yes.
What is your entree for your meal? And what is your entree?
Apple.
Are those messy foods or not too messy?
Not too messy.
Is it fluffy or not very fluffy?
Not too very fluffy.
Is it healthy?
Yes.
I think that's a good space entree. What's your main dish?
Curry.
And?
Hamburger.
Is that fluffy?
No.
Fluffy? Curry's fluffy? No. Is it messy?
No.
Well, your curry, if you just put it in a bowl, it's going to be messy. You're going to have to put it in a pouch and squeeze it out into your mouth, okay? But I think that's okay. Is it healthy?
Yes.
Pretty healthy. What do you want to drink with it?
Juice. Water. Wow.
Are you going to put your drink in a cup, or are you going to have to put it into a squeeze bag? Don't open up your marker right now, you know. And what are you going to have for dessert?
Jelly.
And?
What? Yogurt.
Yogurt. Are those messy?
No.
Fluffy?
No.
Healthy?
Yes.
Kind of healthy. Now remember, yogurt and jelly too is just going to go in a bowl or in a squeeze bag.
Squeeze bag.
Pretty much everything you guys picked, so you're going to have a squeeze bag dinner. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah? Well, okay, I think you guys did a good job. I think that's all food we can take up to the space station with us. Can we go back to our spots and sit nicely, please? Stop opening it up. Page 10. Yes. What is the first word? What do you see?
Entry.
Entree. It's a French word. I know it's funny spelling, but that word is and that's a little thing that we're going to eat first or on the side, right? What is the next thing?
Main course.
You guys make sure you're reading with us one more time.
Main course.
Kylie, what's that?
Main course.
What's that?
Main course.
What's that?
Main course.
Main course. That is our main dish. Our pizza or pasta or hamburger or curry, okay? What's underneath that?
Drink.
One more time.
Drink.
Anything you want to drink. And what's the last one?
Dessert.
Dessert. Whatever we want to have last for dessert. Now remember, we want things that are fluffy or not fluffy.
Not fluffy.
Things that are messy or not messy.
Not messy.
And do we want things that are healthy or unhealthy?
Healthy.
Unhealthy? We want things that are healthy. If you need...
But your main course is going to be 2 apples. What's your dessert?
Okay, remember, if you guys are finished, you're going to draw your food and your drinks, but are your drinks going to be in a cup or in a squeeze bag?
Squeeze bag.
Why? No gravity. Is your pasta on a plate or in a bag? Why? Is your pasta in a plate or on a bag, guys?
Bag.
Why?
Because it flows.
Because it'll float. That's right, and make a mess.
Major astronauts too.
Sure. That's not how you spell chocolate, though, Dekichi. Chocolate. You guys should remember this word by now, did you choose? What do you want for dessert? What's your dessert? Do you use lots of water or just a little water?
Little one.
That's right. Go get ready to go home. You say, what is the second planet from the sun?
Venus.
Very good. Close your books, your pens, your erasers, go get ready to go home. Sit down until I ask a question. Keep drawing. Takeru. Keep going. Takto. Is there gravity in space?
No.
So do we fall down or do we float?
Float.
Pens and erase your way, go get ready to go home. So, is there air in space?
Yes.
I'm coming back to you for another question. Make sure you think before you answer. Takeru, what planet do we live on?
Earth.
Pencil race your way. Are you ready to go home? Kai, what's the biggest planet?
Jupiter.
Very good. Go get ready to go home. Yudai, what do you call the machines that orbit around the Earth? Satellite. Pencil racer. Go get ready to go home. We're gonna try again. So, is there air in space? Can you breathe in space? If there's no air, we can't breathe, right? There's no air in space and we cannot.